When dealing with our daily emotions that we all face, there can be positive outcomes we control. Is living abundantly really possible for all of us, no matter where we find ourselves today? Absolutely, unequivocally, yes is the answer. Now, here is the host of The Long Bearded Guy, the Chief Catalyst, Strategist Guide at Jewel International, Gordon D. Melville.
Hey everybody, welcome to The Long Bearded Guy with Gordon D. Melville on Inspired Choices Network. Thank you for being here today. I appreciate you. We are going to talk, and it is Red Fridays. Remember, everyone deployed, so I want to touch on that. I'm very excited today. Today is my 1-year anniversary. Literally, I started doing this show on July 15th of 2022. So yay! I got some. My wife gave me some of these things. I think they're birthday things, but they were kind of celebratory, so I put them in my background for today. So thank you for being here. Welcome to being with me today. I appreciate you being here for our anniversary, and I'm calling today's show a 2x4 Rhinos and My Mission Remastered, because my very first show was called a 2x4 Rhinos and My Mission. So what's happened in a year? What's has there been growth? Has there been anything happen outside of doing the show every week? Is there anything else that's happened? So I want to touch on that. I want to look at that. Our rear view mirrors in our car are little compared to our windshield, because you want to know where you've been, but you don't want to spend a lot of time right there. So we are going to take a little bit of a glimpse back, but we want to look through our windshield today and see where we're going and what's been happening and how we measure the growth. So if you don't have your journal, you need to run and grab your journal. You're going to want to write some stuff down. You're going to hear some stuff that you want to remember, and you're going to want to remember that. So grab a pen and a journal or a pad or something to write with, and we'll get going. I deeply appreciate you being here. If you're here and you can get onto you're on your phone, on an iPad, on a computer, on whatever it is, and you can find us, you can go to inspiredchoicesnetwork.tv. And you can watch me live, platforms, sites on Facebook and YouTube. You can see me live. And so, as well, I really appreciate you being here today. Radio, Roku, Amazon Fire, all the ways you can get a hold of us. You can find us on all those different things. Plug in. The Inspired Choices Network's free app is anywhere you get your normal apps from, but that's in a space. It's a free download. You can watch all the hosts, and there's some really good hosts on our site. Christina has put together some amazing human beings in this podcast space, and we all do the same thing: a live radio show, a podcast, and a TV show. So if you want to watch it, you can do that. If you want to listen as a podcast, you can do that. If you want to listen to live radio on a Friday between 12 and 1 with me, you can do that too. So I encourage you to do that. Free download. And if you're somebody that is struggling, or you're somebody that isn't sure where to go and what direction you're headed and how to get there, and you're not getting a lot of encouragement, I want to tell you today, if you haven't been told today yet, or this week yet, I know some people I talked to this week that haven't heard it in years. I appreciate you. I love you. And that's not an I want you love. People go, Gordon, you don't even know me. How's that possible? Well, I don't need to know you. People will hate for no reason. I can love for a reason. You're human. You're alive. You're here. You're listening. You know what? I love you. And it's agape love. It's basic human love. And I appreciate you being here. The world's a better place with you here. And I want to encourage you. I'm not a guy that's going. I want to encourage you. I want to pat you on the back and lift you up and support you as much as I can. But I'm going to do that by rattling your cage and shaking your chain and going, hey, come on. If you're happy where you are, then maybe I'm not your guy. Maybe for encouragement and whatever, but I'm not your guy, because I love you enough and care about you enough not to leave you where you are. I want to help you move forward. If that's what you want to do, I'm here to help you move forward. And my avatars are entrepreneurial men and pro athletes, because I am an entrepreneurial man, and I've got a soft spot, and you'll hear about pro athlete stuff today, but I've got a soft spot for that. And so I want to help as much as I can. So I have my special mug, and I know there's people listening today that maybe not can't get into the studio audience or can't get into watch me live or listen live, but I know you're here. And whether you're doing it on replay, you're doing it live at work or at home or wherever you happen to be, you're on the couch. It's good. It doesn't matter where you're listening from or watching from. I appreciate that you're here. I really do. Time is a finite resource we all have a limited amount of, and you're spending some of that with me today. So thank you so much. All right. So by the way, like, love, share, subscribe, because that not only helps pay or run the algorithms, helps our algorithms, but it also helps pay for the show. So thank you for doing that. Like, love, share it. Again, the only way I get engagement, we got huge reach, right? More than 500 million reach, millions and millions of hundreds of millions of reach. But engagement, we need engagement. I want engagement. I want people to be able to reach out and talk. By the way, I'll tell you right now, thelongbeardedguy@gmail.com is the best way to get a hold of me. And I encourage you to do that. Whether you agree with me, disagree with me, however, please reach out and tell me, hey, I agree with this. Gord, you're full of shit. Whatever it is, please reach out. Thelongbeardedguy@gmail.com. Okay, let's go. So in this first little piece, I want to talk about where it all began. So, happy show birthday number 1. That's 1 year. The time just boom gone. But what brought me to this? Well, how did I start this show? Why did I start this show? How did I connect with Christine and the network? And I want to explain the title a little bit. I want to just give you a little bit of a short Reader Digest condensed version of my story. If you've never heard some of that, I've alluded to it. I talk about it at the beginning, but I haven't talked about it in a little bit. So what brought me to this was that I was looking in early 2022 for ways to get back in, because I've been sick for well, I don't know, 7.5, 8 years, since late 2015. I guess it's 8 years, coming up on 8 years. So I hadn't worked in a long time. So because I wasn't well, I couldn't. And so I was trying to find a way to re-plug into the world and re-plug into my global audience and find clients and find ways to be able to help and reunite men. And so I reached out to Christine, and I had met her a few years before, well before COVID. And at the time, Inspired Choices Network was a radio show only, a live radio show, and it was on 100 platforms, which at the time I thought was pretty good. It was very good. But at the time I said, no, I don't want to do a radio show. I wasn't in the right place. I wasn't in the right headspace. I didn't understand the benefits of it the way I did. And so, but she kept up with me. And one thing I love about Christine, she's got a huge heart for helping people. And the one thing I really appreciated her while I was sick and while I was not well, I was bedridden for 2 years. And so, but she would reach out periodically and say, hey, Gord, how you doing? How's your health? She never, ever once said, hey, you ready to do your show? Hey, you ready to do business with me? Hey, ready to spend money on my... She never did that. She always said, hey, how are you doing? What's going on? How's your health? How are you faring? And she did that for several years. And so when I went in early 2022 to try and figure out, hey, how do I expand and get global exposure as fast as I possibly can, as wide and far spread as I could get it, I went, hey, I can reach out to Christine. That was a radio show. That's global. 100 platforms global. So I reached out to her. And she said, hey, good news. It's not just a radio show anymore. It's also a podcast and a TV show. And it's now not only on 100, it's on 250 plus stations, platforms globally. And I'm like, wow. So I said yes to that. And so but in the moment, I had no idea about broadcasting. I had no idea about executive producing. I had no idea how to host. I had never done, I'm used to talking in front of people. Clearly, if you spend any time with me, hey, he knows how to listen. He knows how to talk. He knows how to interact with a crowd. So, but I understood that. But this is a completely different deal. This is a completely different animal. And so I went back in preparation for today's show. I went back this week and watched my very first show. And I'm like, wow, you know what? Look at the difference in what's happening now and my comfort level now and the production level now as it was a year ago. And it's an interesting thing for me because that growth was intentional. I didn't know how, but I knew I was in good hands. I knew I was in the right place. And I knew if I just held on to Christine and what she was doing, I would get where I needed to go. And it's coming, and the time's going to pass anyway. But we talk about, oh, it's going to take time. The time's going by anyway. Don't let the time stop you from stepping out and doing what it is you want to do. And so I want to just touch real quick on the title of this episode, a 2x4, Rhinos, and my mission remastered. So a year ago, and my mission is similar, but the 2x4 and the Rhino part of that is that I'm a 2x4 learner. So and it's better now than as I've gotten older. I've learned not to do that so much and to learn quicker so that I didn't need a 2x4. But if you can appreciate that, and I know if you're part of my, if you understand what I'm talking about in terms of 2x4 learner, you're my people. So thank you so much for being here. But 2x4, Papa will give us a little bit. He'll give us a suggestion. Then he gives it. We don't listen, or we listen. Or if you're smart, you listen. And then if you don't listen to that, though, you get a little bit of a nudge. And you either listen or don't listen. And if you don't listen, you get a shove. And if you don't listen to that, then it becomes a hellacious shove. And lots of times, if you don't listen to that, you're going to get a 2x4. And I've always been that person. So I believe that's how I landed flat on my back in late 2015, was because I needed a 2x4. I needed to be dropped in a place where, Gord, you can't do it on your own. You cannot figure this out on your own. You do need me in terms of Papa. And so, and to pay attention and to listen to that. So that's the 2x4. The Rhinos, if you've ever checked or looked, and most people I talk to don't know, but if you look at a group, so it's a herd of cows, right? It's a herd. If you look at a gaggle of geese, they call it, a group of geese is called a gaggle. If you look at crows, it's a murder of crows. If you look at a group of rhinoceros, they're called a crash. And I was like, wow, I wonder what that's about. What does that mean? What does that? I don't understand. Why is it called a crash? And what I found out was that rhinoceros can run up to 40 miles an hour, which is pretty fast for a 2-ton animal. That's pretty quick. But being able to, the problem with that is they can only see 20 feet. Consequently, they have 3-inch thick skin and a big horn on their forehead because they keep slamming into stuff all over the place. They just keep, because they can't stop. The inertia carries them forward, right? So I've always been that guy, 300 miles an hour with my hair on fire. If 100 calls didn't do it, I'd make 200 calls. And if that didn't do it, I would make 500 calls. And if that didn't do it, I would make it just a blunt instrument when it came to some of that stuff. And just power your way through. That's what I'd always done, is just power my way through. So when you combine 2x4 learning with crash type living, where you're just slamming into stuff, that's basically what my life has looked like for the better part of 55 years, just slamming into stuff. And so, and then my mission, and you've heard me say it before, but my mission is to change the lives of 10 million men by increasing their EQ. I want to increase their emotional quotient, because I believe when that happens, everything gets better. Better husband, better human, better dad, better employee, better employer, better friend, better uncle, better everything. Everything gets better. Our relationships get better. Our satisfaction with life gets better. Everything gets better because we changed the lens we're using to look at our life. We're increasing our emotional quotient, and we want to be able to plug into that. So that's the concept around 2x4 Rhinos and my mission remastered. And we're going to look at in the next segment what happened in terms of over the last year. What's happened? Remastered how? Has there been growth? Has there been change? Has my mission changed? It did. It morphed a little bit. Some of the pieces stayed the same, and the basic concept of it stayed the same. But how I got there has morphed and changed. Why? As my producer for today and I were talking about, it's being willing to be uncomfortable, or pardon me, being comfortable being uncomfortable. Getting comfortable being uncomfortable, because we only learn in that space. We don't learn when things are good, because we go, look, everything's going fine. And so a lot of times we avoid putting ourselves in a space where it's going to be uncomfortable, because we don't want that. So get comfortable being uncomfortable. That's the only place growth happens. And that's what's been happening over the last year. I was in a place where I had no idea what I was doing, and probably had no business doing a show because I didn't know what was going on. I had no idea how I was going to do that. How am I going to come up with 52 episodes, 1 hour? I mean, I like to talk clearly, but how am I going to do that? How am I going to come up with that much content? And it's happened. 52, it's happened that way, and the time is just boom gone. So you know what? Time's going to happen anyway. Are you courageous enough to step into it? Are you courageous enough to go, you know what? I'm going to put myself out there and see what happens. And if I fail, you know what? No big deal. That happens. I'm going to get up, dust myself off, and start again with that experience behind me. I'm not going to get nobody that's ever achieved anything amazing achieved that by playing safe. They just didn't. They stretched the envelope. They pushed the envelope. That's how they got to that space. I need to take a quick break, but I want to do a quick shout out before we go to Jose Escobar, is the founder and CEO of the Entrepreneur's Bookshelf. He is in, I forget where he is at the moment. He spent the last from Wednesday to today at a conference in deep in the South, someplace US, and having a great time by the posts and the pictures and whatnot. He's having a great time. But check out the Entrepreneur's Bookshelf to learn more about the morning and evening routine mastery program that is changing people's lives. This program will help you install systems on the bookends of your day to maximize your morning and evening routine. Set up a free strategy session with Jose Escobar today. You can reach him at www.theentrepreneursbookshelf.com. Again, that's theentrepreneursbookshelf.com. And it's Jose Escobar. Great guy. Thanks so much for my sponsors. We're going to talk about that in another segment. As we go to break right here, don't forget to pause and breathe. Pause and breathe. Why? It's going to ground you. It's going to put you in a space, in a state. We call it a state. It puts you in state because it allows you to be able to absorb more. It allows you to be able to percolate and let sift into you what you're hearing. And so it calms us. So pause and breathe. As we go to break, you're with the long bearded guy. That's me, Gordon D. Melville on Inspired Choices Network. We'll be right back. Don't go anywhere.
How much of our daily success relies on our mindset? Anything we are unaware of can still impact our lives. When dealing with our daily emotions that we all face, there can be positive outcomes we control. Why is the word stigma such a BS misnomer? Is living abundantly really possible for all of us, no matter where we find ourselves today? Join the long-bearded guy, Gordon D. Melville. The Chief Catalyst Strategist Guide at Jewel International invites you to an enlightening, sometimes shocking discussion. He will be challenging you to explore your own answers to these questions and so many more. This will lead you towards living an abundant, successful life no matter how you define it. Gordon D. Melville is live Fridays at 12 noon Eastern, 11 a.m. Central, 10 a.m. Mountain, and 9 a.m. Pacific on InspiredChoicesNetwork.com.
Are you a subject matter expert? Are you here to share your expertise with an audience waiting to hear from you in only the way you can deliver? Are you ready to have your voice amplified across the airwaves? Inspired Choices Network has a global radio platform streaming to millions of people across the world. Professionally produced and supported by an accomplished team every step of the way, you can broadcast from anywhere in the world, knowing your voice matters, and we ensure it is delivered with ease and efficiency. Eager to hear your message, the world awaits. Contact us today to become an Inspired Choices Network radio host. Email becomeahost@inspiredchoicesnetwork.com.
This is the long-bearded guy with Gordon D. Melville. To participate in the program, join the live studio audience in our chat room at inspiredchoicesnetwork.com. You can also send an email to thelongbeardedguy@gmail.com. Now back to the program.
Hey everybody, welcome back. You're with the long-bearded guy, Gordon D. Melville on Inspired Choices Network. And thank you for coming back and still being here. We're talking about a 2x4 Rhinos and my mission Remastered. It's my 1-year anniversary show, and we're recapping where we were a year ago, why we were a year ago, what we were doing, what were the thought processes were, and where are we now? What's happened and where are we going? Those are the pieces that really stick into me. Where am I a year later? Right? What's brought me what has all that brought me to? 52 episodes has brought me to what? What have I learned, and how have I grown, and where am I now? What's going on now? And I want to do a quick thank you. I couldn't have done this without my sponsors, my founding partner. Sorry, first day with the new tongue. My founding sponsor partners. I couldn't have started without them. And they showed faith in me, and they believed in my mission. They believed in me and said, Gord, we'll support you. And whether they got advertising from it, but I do have some angel sponsors that go, Gord, we just believe in what you're doing, and we want that message to go out there. So I want to name them, because I talk about Jose Escobar, is the founder and CEO of Entrepreneurs Bookshelf. Initially, Kat Schwarz is the owner and founder of Compassionate Healing Services. She had her own show for a little bit on Inspired Choices Network. You can find some of Kat Schwarz's, and she was one of my founding sponsor partners. Dr. Oliver Reed is still, Jeff May, Lee Grigsby, Ed Reed, Mrs. Kirkpatrick, Austin Haynes, Jim Hetherington, Carolyn Scott. Some of these people have been absolutely critical. They've all been critical in terms of me moving forward. And sometimes we need help. Sometimes we need a leg up. We need a helping hand to get where we're going. Don't be afraid to ask. We want to be able to ask why, because people can't help you unless they're aware that you need the help, or that you're struggling, whether it's dollars and cents to get your show off the ground like it was a year ago for me, or whether it's that you need emotional help, you need emotional quotient, you need a hand up, you need someone to support you a little bit and listen, or boost you up, or be there, or have advice for you. So I'm eternally thankful to my founding sponsor partners. I am looking for some more, but I want to a year ago, I want to touch on where am I now? What's going on now? What has it brought me to? What has changed since a year ago? Outside of my ability to be more comfortable on my show, my producer has changed, and that's wonderful. Sarah's amazing. Kim was amazing, and I still love Kim to death. But Sarah's been awesome. She's been wonderful with me, and I've learned a ton from her. And so, as I'm going forward, where am I today? What's it brought me to? Because a year ago I was still unhealthy, just like I am now. But I've moved myself forward. I'm finding and creating ways to move forward, even through chronic pain, constant chronic pain, and other health challenges. I'm looking and battling and pushing through those things and finding ways still to show up, which hadn't happened until I started doing the show. Not the same way. I have way more energy now than I did a year ago. I have way more. I've learned how to manage my pain. I've learned how to step through some of that stuff. Some of it's gone away, but some of it is still there. Lots of it's still there. But being able to battle through that is something that's allowed me to open up some other things. So what am I doing right now? And if you hear anything here that you go, oh, I didn't know we did that, or hey, you know what, I need to learn about that, please reach out to me, thelongbeardedguy@gmail.com. So the biggest thing I am doing at the moment, I'm a champion mindset mentor. That's mentorship. It's coaching, one-on-one and group. I do a lot of that. So that's kind of my core product, my core service. But I'm also obviously doing the Long Bearded Guy show, live radio, podcast, TV. So we do those every week. I am the mindset and energy coach for a pro basketball team. That happened less than a month ago, and I got picked up for that. I'm all excited about that for the upcoming season. It's going to be amazing, amazing, amazing. I co-own and co-host on Mondays Waterloo, which is a franchise here in town. It's a speaking kind of like open mic night, except for speakers as opposed to musicians. Although we do have live music on our monthly show, which, by the way, if you're local or you want to fly in or drive in from wherever you are, it's on Monday night. The 17th is our July show, and it oddly enough, I'm one of the speakers, one of the featured speakers this month. So that hasn't happened in several years. So yeah, so that's awesome. And we've done more than, I don't know, it's coming up to 55 shows, something like that. over the last 4 or 5 years. So that's I do that with a partner, Don Callahan. He's a wonderful friend, and we're really good together. We work very, very well together. I love him and appreciate him so very much. So that's one thing. And then I've got a book on marriage called Your Relationship Roadmap. It's a co-authored piece. It comes out. We launched that on the 23rd of July. So that's coming. I have several other books, 3 that are another 3 co-authored ones, and then 4 of my own that should be out sometime this year. So there's all these things that are happening. All these things are happening. I'm still sourcing sponsor partners. I'm looking for some more. The bills go up. There's more costs added as I expand. There's some more costs. So I'm looking for people that resonate with this message and go, you know what, this has to get out. And I've got men and women obviously on that list, because I've had women go, hey, I know your avatar is men and I know you're looking to help men, but I got brothers and uncles and dads and brothers and sons and what that need to hear this. So can I help you get that message out? So I encourage you, if you want to get that out, you want a community concept in terms of have a community mindset to be able to help people. Myself as a suicide survivor, that's a huge part of being able to, for me to be able to give back and for me to be able to plug in. And if you want to reduce the amount of men or women, but especially men commit suicide 4 to 5 times as often as women do. So if that resonates with you, or you want to help that, or you believe in the message, reach out to me, thelongbeardedguy@gmail.com. And there's lots of ways to help, and there's a bunch of different levels in it where you got there's lots of different ways to help. So I encourage you, please reach out. I would look forward to hearing from you. So that's trying to find that, sourcing those. Trying to see if there's anything else on here. Oh yeah, all of that. And I've been married 31 years at the end of June, so that's very exciting. But that takes time and effort to anybody that's married knows, or is in a relationship knows, that takes time and attention. So there's that. I've got 3 teenage sons. That takes time and attention. And then on top of all of that, constantly battling with my health stuff, my consistent every day, wake up with it, go to sleep with it, chronic pain that's debilitating to the point where I will spend a lot of time sometimes sleeping to get away from the pain, because it's the only way I know to get rid of it. And it's not gone. I'm not aware of it. So there's all that happening. And again, it becomes a thing. Do you want to do it, or you don't want to do it? Are you willing to step into the fray and be on the battlefield and be covered in sweat and blood and tears? And are you willing to do that, to get what you want, to be where you're supposed to be able to get to what your purpose is? Are you willing to do the hard work? Everybody wants to be a beast. Everybody wants to, I'm going to be that person, until it's time to do beast things, and then we don't want to do it anymore because it's hard. It's difficult. It's a mindset that's why I changed it. Because when a year ago I talked about being a high performance coach. High performance is awesome. Champion is above. There's lots of people in professional sports or in life in general, business or whatnot, but pro sports, every team of every sport you can think of, team sport, has multiple people on every team. Yes? Yes. All right. So how come some of them we know, all of us know, whether we watch that sport or not, we know who that person is. But even on your favorite team, sometimes there's names you don't recognize. Why is that? They're all pro athletes. They've all been drafted. They are high performance athletes. But there's a group of people that we all can talk about and know, and we recognize the names of. Who are those? Those are champion mindset people. Those are people that do that little bit of extra. They're the people that have mastery control of their mind and emotion. And if you can't do that, or you want to do that, or you need more of that, you need to reach out to me. I teach tools and strategies to be able to master your control of your mind and your emotion, so that you can get where you want to go, so that you can be who you want to be, who you should be, who you deserve to be, who you were supposed to be, who you were meant to be. But it takes effort. It takes concerted intentional effort to get there. And I tell you all that not to brag. I tell you all that so that you understand we all can do it. We all can do it. My show in a couple of weeks, I talk about, you know what, I think it was Deepak Chopra. I believe it was Deepak Chopra that said, you know what? We all have unlimited choices. We all have the gift of choice. We can choose. But are you courageous and brave enough to make the choice? We all have choice, but are you brave and courageous enough to make the choice, to use that power? Most people, a lot of people, many people are not. They can't because it scares them. They're too afraid to. I don't want to. The people aren't going to like me. What if I fail? What if it goes wrong? What if it goes sideways? It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Do it anyway. Do it anyway. I need to take another quick break. That's something that hasn't changed in a year. The time goes just like that. So I want to do a quick shout out again for Jose, the founder and CEO of the Entrepreneur's Bookshelf. But check out the Connected Leaders Academy membership to take your business to the next level. This is the perfect tribe to learn, grow, and connect like never before. The Connected Leaders Academy tribe brings together some of the highest level entrepreneurs from all over the world. Set up a virtual coffee with Jose Escobar today. And again, you can reach him at theentrepreneursbookshelf.com. Reach out to him. It's an incredible group, 17 countries around the world. I think they're in 40 or 41, 42 states across the US. And I think there's more than 300 members. It's an incredible group. So I challenge you to reach out to them, to Jose, theentrepreneursbookshelf.com. I need to take another quick break. Don't go anywhere. We're going to talk in the next segment about where we're going. What's on the horizon? Where's all this taking me? And where can you plug into that? So don't go anywhere. You're with the long-bearded guy. That's me, Gordon D. Melville, on Inspired Choices Network. Don't forget to pause and breathe.
How much of our daily success relies on our mindset? Anything we are unaware of can still impact our lives. When dealing with our daily emotions that we all face, there can be positive outcomes we control. Why is the word stigma such a BS misnomer? Is living abundantly really possible for all of us, no matter where we find ourselves today? Join the long-bearded guy, Gordon D. Melville. The Chief Catalyst Strategist Guide at Jewel International invites you to an enlightening, sometimes shocking discussion. He will be challenging you to explore your own answers to these questions and so many more. This will lead you towards living an abundant, successful life no matter how you define it. Gordon D. Melville is live Fridays at 12 noon Eastern, 11 a.m. Central, 10 a.m. Mountain, and 9 a.m. Pacific on InspiredChoicesNetwork.com.
The Connected Leaders Academy is the #1 fastest growing networking community for entrepreneurs. CLA assembles high-level leaders, titans of industry, and business owners under one roof. If you're an entrepreneur looking to grow personally, professionally, scale your influence, develop skills, and expand your network exponentially, the CLA is where you need to be. Want on to more podcasts and shows, speak on more stages, sell more books, products, and services, get more leads, referrals, acquire new clients, develop lifelong friendships, and more. Join the Connected Leaders Academy today. Contact Jose Escobar on Facebook or check out www.claglobalsummit.com for more information.
This is the long-bearded guy with Gordon D. Melville. To participate in the program, join the live studio audience in our chat room at InspiredChoicesNetwork.com. You can also send an email to the longbeardedguy@gmail.com. Now back to the program.
Hey everybody, welcome back. We're talking about a 2x4 Rhinos and my mission Remastered on my 1-year anniversary show. It's been a year already. It's been a year. So we're celebrating that today, and we've taken a look back, shared a little bit of my story again, shared where we've been and where I was a year ago, what's happened over the year, what's happening right now, and we want to talk now what the future holds. Where is it going? Where is the long-bearded guy going? And how can you partner with him? How can you come along for the ride? part of that is just jumping in and listening every week. We're here and listening to the episodes and commenting and engaging, and you can do that on YouTube, you can do that on Facebook, you can do that on Inspired Choices Network, on our app. It's a free download. Do that. But where are we going? So, like I said earlier, we talk about sponsorship. The bills are a little higher, and I've expanded. The years expanded me. So there's some other things that I need to add. There's some other things I need to do to help engagement, to help reach out, and for me to be more effective at what I'm doing. I need help to be able to skilled help, people that know. My mustache is getting in my mouth. But needing help with social media and with engaging with people. So I don't have that tech mastery piece yet. And I defer to people that have way more mastery. Again, if you want to do a radio show, podcast, or TV show, you need to reach out to Christine and Sarah and that team, because Christine's assembled an incredible team that are absolute masters. I've never seen anybody do what Inspired Choices Network does, and I've looked at a bunch. So, if you want to sponsor, or you want to be involved with this, I'm looking right now for sponsors. I'm looking for a beard sponsor. If I think that would make the most sense. A beard. I use beard product all the time. I'm using something by the Beard Struggle right now, is the product I'm using, and I use all the bits and pieces of it. I wash my beard. You're not supposed to wash your beard with regular shampoo, so it's special moisturizing beard shampoo and conditioner and beard oil and beard balm and beard butter and all this stuff to make it soft and manageable. And my wife's like, wow, it's all nice and soft and whatnot. So that takes some product, but it also takes, so a company called Beard Struggle, The Beard Struggle. I've reached out a couple of times. I would love to partner with them and have them sponsor, both with product and with dollars and cents, the show, because I think it goes to their community involvement. It goes to, and they're already a world presence. So I think that would be wonderful. But if you know what, if there's another beard company that wants to do that, wants to have that corporate community connection, and they want to save men's lives, and they want to reduce depression, they want to reduce suicide on the whole, please, if you know somebody like that, or you're familiar with a company like that, whether they're beard or not, I do have some corporate sponsors. If you know somebody like that, if you're that person, please reach out to me, thelongbeardedguy@gmail.com. So I'm going to ask for sponsors. I'm going to ask for at the 25th, I've got this workshop called Boxed Inside Out, and it's a dozen guys, so 12 men we're going to teach them tools and strategies to be able to deal with regular emotion they all feel every day, but don't know how to deal with. And I get a lot of guys that say, well, I that's critical and it's amazing, and thank you for doing that. I know some people that need that. I'm okay, but they need it. And I sort of look at them and go, thank you so much. Bullshit. We all need that. Nobody has the market cornered on every tool and every strategy in every situation. That's not possible. But being able to increase our EQ is something we have to do when we think we feel okay. Oh, I'm okay. Because when we get into the situation, it's virtually impossible. It is so hard to deal with the situation and source and find and choose tools and strategies that will help, because our perspective is skewed. The lens we're looking at the situation is different because we're in a situation. It's like, I refer to it as like insurance. I have to buy insurance when I don't need it, when I'm healthy and everything is good. Why? Because when I'm not healthy anymore, I don't qualify. I can't buy it then. It's got to be pre-bought. Emotional quotient is like that. And at some point we talk about emotional intelligence. It's not really an intelligence. It's not an intelligence, but that's a topic for a different show. But being able to have our EQ be what it needs. I need the tool in my toolbox, in my tool belt, so that when I get into the situation, I just reach into my toolbox and pull out the tool. I reach into my tool belt and get whatever it is I'm going to need. And I need to be able to keep doing it until I feel okay, or to be able to help anybody else. If I'm okay, but I know a buddy's struggling really hard, being able to know what to say and what I need tools and strategies to be able to help them too. So everybody needs to be, and I'm giving it at 92% off what I would normally charge for my time, what other people have paid. 92% off. It's two 90-minute sessions a month, so every other week, for 4 months. For the next 4 months, starting on July 25th. If you know a man, you are a man, you know somebody that needs to do and plug in and raise their EQ, or that needs tools and strategies to get through and to deal with their emotion, and to build up their relationships, to better their relationships, to better their life, please connect them to me. The longbeardedguy@gmail.com. I'm only going to take the first 12. There's 8 billion people on the planet. Conceivably, 4 billion of them are men. This particular workshop and cohort has 12. If I find 12. I think that should be a no-brainer, but it's starting. That part is starting small, because I want to get that going. I want that to be out there. So if you know somebody, that the registration is going quick, and again, the 25th isn't that far away. So if you know somebody, you are somebody, let me know. What's coming up? What's in the future for the Long Bearded Guy? You know what? There's so many opportunities out there, so many different ways to plug in, so many different ways to impact people in a positive way. So there will be more books. I love reading books. I love writing books. There's an ebook coming on the five sentences of empowerment. There's a bunch of stuff coming. There's books. There's more workshops. I'll do Box Inside Out now, but I'm probably going to do it every 4 months, once a quarter. I will probably do another cohort of Box Inside Out, and then this one is level 1, and I've done that a bunch. But there's a level 2, there's a level 3 of Box Inside Out. So watch for those things, plug into those, keep up with me, because that stuff is coming. Eventually, we'll start to do retreats where we go away and we do man type stuff while we connect, while we raise our EQ, while we raise our emotional quotient. And we'll do it together, supporting each other, caring about each other, letting each other know they have somebody that's out there that cares and gives a shit about who they are, that loves them as a man, as a human being, and can help and can be there to help support and encourage each other. We need that. We're humans. We got to have that. That's what's coming. I am so excited about where this is going. I signed for another year, so I'll continue to do this show. I love to do this. It comes right close to my heart. It's something that I love doing. So I'll continue to do that. I'm on other stages. I've got we're in July, so there's still I've got 4, I think, the rest of the year, stages that I'm on to get the message out, places I'm going to be, other conferences I'm going to plug into. We're going to do Mondays every month, so there's that to plug into. If you want to speak in your local, we've had people as far away as Cherry Hill, New Jersey, and Montreal in Canada. Come up. We're about an hour, 90 minutes, I guess, from Buffalo, and 4 hours from Detroit. So we're not that far. You want to speak on a stage for free? Come. You want exposure? Come. You want to learn and practice? Reach out to me, thelongbeardedguy@gmail.com. We've got so much stuff going on. I've got so much exciting opportunities. And the more sponsors I get, and the more we expand, and the more engagement we have, even more opportunities show up, and even more stages show up. And it snowballs. I will get to 10 million men. And when people hear me say, Gord, that's a lot of guys. And I'm like, yes, it is. But Papa told me 10 million is not the target. There's 8 billion people on the planet. Conceivably, half of them are men. That's 4 billion men with a B. Billion men. 10 million is a drop in the bucket. That's not the target. It's the jump point. It's the jump point. We'll start to count at 10 million. And I can promise you and assure you I will get there, because that's what Papa has me here for. That's my purpose, is to achieve that. And I'm doing everything I can to get to that spot and to achieve that purpose. I'm looking for people that want to join me in that purpose, that want to support that and encourage that and move that forward. If you're that person, reach out to me, thelongbeardedguy@gmail.com. I have to take another quick break. When we come back, don't go anywhere. We'll review and wrap, and then there's an interesting call to action this week. So don't go anywhere. You're with the long-bearded guy, Gordon D. Melville, on Inspired Choices Network. Be right back. Don't forget to pause and breathe.
How much of our daily success relies on our mindset? Anything we are unaware of can still impact our lives. When dealing with our daily emotions that we all face, there can be positive outcomes we control. Why is the word stigma such a BS misnomer? Is living abundantly really possible for all of us, no matter where we find ourselves today? Join the long-bearded guy, Gordon D. Melville. The Chief Catalyst Strategist Guide at Jewel International invites you to an enlightening, sometimes shocking discussion. He will be challenging you to explore your own answers to these questions and so many more. This will lead you towards living an abundant, successful life no matter how you define it. Gordon D. Melville is live Fridays at 12 noon Eastern, 11 a.m. Central, 10 a.m. Mountain, and 9 a.m. Pacific on InspiredChoicesNetwork.com.
How wonderful would it be to carry your favorite Inspired Choices Network host with you throughout your day? Well, now you can. Inspired Choices Network now has its very own mobile app. Our free app offers live streaming shows, along with thousands of podcasts and TV episodes. Our shows cover a wide variety of topics. Whether you're waking up with us, carrying us through the day, and taking us to bed with you, we're always here for you to enjoy. We're easy to find. Just search for Inspired Choices Network in the Apple App Store or Google Play Store.
This is the Long-Bearded Guy with Gordon D. Melville. To participate in the program, join the live studio audience in our chat room at InspiredChoicesNetwork.com. You can also send an email to thelongbeardedguy@gmail.com. Now back to the program.
Hey everybody, welcome back. You're with the long-bearded guy, Gordon D. Melville, on Inspired Choices Network, and today we're doing our one-year anniversary show called 2x4 Rhinos and My Mission Remastered, because it's continued to grow. It's continued to morph. It's continued to expand. And some of that's thanks to you as my listeners and watchers, people that tune in. I appreciate that. I guess I could do this without you, but it would be really boring because there would be no engagement. Nobody would be listening. So I appreciate you. I can't do it without you. I can't do it without my sponsors. And so what I want to ask you, obviously you've heard, this is where my story sort of came from. This is what that sort of spurred me on and gave me my purpose, what some of my history and what that's about, how that brought me to Christine and the Inspired Choices Network. And then what's happened in growth wise over that year, what's happening now, and then where we're going. We've talked about those things. So I want to talk just real quick in this segment because we're just about out of time. But what's holding you back from doing what you want to be doing? What's stopping you from fulfilling your purpose? Are you just not motivated? Nothing's inspiring you? Or the thing that burns in your belly and inspires you, you haven't had the courage yet to go out and go, you're too afraid. I might fail. Just go do it. Courage isn't the lack of fear. It's feeling it and doing it anyway. And I'm going to challenge you. Again, rattle your chain, shake your cage. I'm going to challenge you. Go do it. What steps can you take to achieve whatever it is your purpose is or whatever it is you want to do? Props to my producer today. They wanted some stuff. We were sort of joking about it before the show started. And she's like, be careful what you ask for, what you wish for, what you hope for. Why? You might get it. And she is getting it. And she's like, oh, wow. Well, they expected it next year and it's happening now already. And it's very exciting. It's also stressful and there's anxiety there because you're like, holy crap, I wasn't ready for that. Props to her for stepping out, her and her husband and her family for stepping out in courage, even though they're not sure how's that going to work. We don't know, but we're going to do it anyway because that's what we feel led to do. That takes so much courage. It takes so much. That's beautiful. It's beautiful. Congratulations, Sarah. It's inspiring to me to watch people step up. You've heard me say it before. I don't want like-minded. I want growth-minded. People that are looking to step out and do what their passion is, what they want to do, and they're willing to take the risk to do it, and they step out and brave and do it. That inspires me. Does that inspire you? Does that get your blood moving? Oh my damn! How does that work? How is that going to work? We don't know. And some people get freaked out by that. Well, I need a plan. I need it all organized. I need to know all my checkpoints, and I have to have my list, and I got to know where I'm going and all that. That's great. If that's who you are, you need to let go of some of that a little bit. I'm not saying don't be prepared. Be prepared. Do your research, but then do something with it. Don't do all that stuff and then do not do anything with it. My call to action this week is specific, and I want you to write this down. I want you to ask yourself every morning when you wake up. Every morning when you wake up, I want it to go through your head. Ask yourself, what am I creating today that's bringing me closer to my definite major purpose? What am I creating today that's bringing me closer to my definite major purpose? Because if you don't know that when you wake up, you may be wasting part of your finite resource called time. I challenge you, ask yourself, what are you creating? Not what you're plugging into for somebody else, not what you're plugging into. What are you creating today? Don't think about yesterday or tomorrow. What are you creating today that's bringing you closer to your definite major purpose? And if you don't know how to answer that question, or you don't even know what a definite major purpose is, that's okay. Lots of people don't. But if you don't, reach out to me, thelongbeardedguy@gmail.com, and I'll help walk you through that. I'll explain what that's about. We need to have that. We need to have that. I'm here to help you. There's lots of tools. There's lots of resources. There's free resources. There's lots of ways to help. If you don't have a coach, you need a coach. If you don't have a mentor, you need mentors. I'm just telling you. If you're happy being mediocre, or you're happy just the way your life is at the moment, that's fine. But if you want to grow, intentionally grow, you got to do something different. And the best way, the most effective way to do it quickly and the most efficiently is to have a coach or a mentor. So I challenge you, go do that. Unbelievable. We're almost done. Almost done. Unbelievable. The time goes so fast. It's going to happen anyway. Time's going to happen anyway. What are you doing with your time? Next week, Friday the 21st. It'll be here before we know it. At noon, same place, same wonderful station. Next episode, next week's is mental awareness is for everybody, without exception. Mental awareness is for everyone, without exception. Bring your friends, bring the men in your lives, bring your pen and a pad or something to write with, because you're going to want to write some stuff down. I want to challenge you this week. Be courageous. Be unapologetically you. Unabashedly you. Be authentically you. You can do that. Nobody else can. Nobody else can be you. You have to do it. And no one can do it better than you. You have the tools. You have the purpose. The world needs you. Be you. And let the chips fall where they may. Just be brave and stand there and in being yourself. I know you can. I believe in you. Let's make it another great week. Make it. Not have. Make it. You have the power to do that. We have the power. We were gifted the power to be able to make our lives what we want them to be. I'm challenging you. Make it another great week intentionally. I love you. Massive hugs. If you haven't heard that yet today, I love you. Big hugs. Live out you. Live out you abundantly and with intention. And I'll see you next week. Don't let it just happen. Go get it. Go get it. Yes, you can. Believe in you. Love you. We'll see you next week. Thank you for being here.
Thank you for tuning into the Long Bearded Guy Show. You are appreciated and loved. Gordon D. Melville returns Fridays at 12 noon Eastern, 11 a.m. Central, 10 a.m. Mountain, and 9 a.m. Pacific on the InspiredChoicesNetwork.com. Until then, make it another great week, leading with love, powerfully designing, crafting, and living out your positively impactful legacy life you were created for. Big hugs!